Hi, I'm Adam Austin, University of Minnesota Extension educator in Wright County for Agriculture and Horticulture. Today we're here at Solar Fresh Produce along with owner Sarah Lindblom. Sarah's going to show us a little bit about her farm and she also recently received a grant from the Mill City Farmers Market. With that grant she constructed a caterpillar tunnel, so in this video we're really going to highlight that tunnel and kind of show you how it's been working for her.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lindblom from Solar Fresh Produce, and we're here at my farm today. I have about 3 acres where I grow vegetables for a CSA of about 40 members, and I also raise chickens for eggs. And this spring I was fortunate to receive a grant from the Mill City Farmers Market Next Stage Grant Fund, and with that I built a caterpillar tunnel to help grow a diverse mix of vegetables. We started by first getting the footprint measured out for the caterpillar tunnel, and this just involves measuring from a corner post and then getting your rectangle, and you measure the diagonals to kind of get that figured out. After you figure out that footprint, you pound in the anchor posts, which are just 3-foot rebar sections. So after we pounded the rebar posts for the arches, after measuring them and pounding those, we assembled the Gothic arches, and those just screw together from 3 pieces, and then we put those over the rebar. And as you place them over the rebar down the tunnel as you go, you assemble the purlin across the top, screwing those pieces together. First of all, the tunnel is about 14 feet wide by 100 feet long, so I just wanted to make sure I had enough space for the size of the tunnel. I was also looking at just the orientation of the sun. This gets plenty of sun throughout the morning and afternoon, and then it does get a little bit of shade from that tree line just to cool it down in the afternoon when it's Last winter, I did a project with the Sustainable Farming Association about soil health for fruit and vegetable growers, and we did several presentations at some conferences throughout the winter that we talked about the slake test and infiltration test demo. So I wanted to expand on that a little bit more, and I decided to also include a pH test and an earthworm test.
Okay.
And my plan is to create a soil health report card where I can record and track this information a little. I did add a drip irrigation system, so that just consists of some PVC mainline and hoses, and then I use a drip tape and valve emitters that I can turn on and off with each row in the hoop house here. I ended up having to cut the plastic off of the end walls, which helped get a lot more airflow and made it a lot easier to manage the temperature in here. One challenge with the caterpillar tunnel is managing the temperature, especially without an automatic roll-up sides. You just have to make sure, especially on a sunny day, to come out right away in the morning and open up the sides if they had been closed. And having the end walls open helped with that quite a bit. One other issue I ran into was with the irrigation system. Since it is really dry in the caterpillar tunnel without any natural rainwater coming in, I noticed early on there was a row of tomatoes that just seemed like it was not getting enough moisture, and after checking that out closer, I found that one of that drip tape end caps had come off, and that was causing the drip tape to not fill up with pressure. So after replacing the end cap and tying a knot in the drip tape to make sure that I didn't miss that again, I noticed that the tomatoes made a quick recovery. So in terms of pest management for the caterpillar tunnel, I have noticed a few things. I know arugula is one crop that a lot of farmers struggle with in the spring, and I planted an arugula crop in here in the spring that was a huge hit with the CSA members. I did notice some flea beetle damage starting to show up, but one thing about having the arugula in here was that instead of attacking the basil first, they'll go to this arugula. And now that it's flowering, I'll have to remove this arugula to get a little more space and airflow in here, but the flowers do help bring some pollinators in here in the meantime. In terms of pest for the tomatoes, I haven't really noticed any problems with those. A little bit of disease is starting to spread, but without having the rain splashing or the soil borne diseases splashing onto the leaves, that helps with management of that. Some of the main benefits so far, I think, is just protection from the elements. Not having rain or moisture splashing up onto the foliage really helps with tomato disease management without having to spray any fungicides or anything like that. I think it does also help speed up some crops like basil, but without having it early this spring, it's hard to say exactly what some of the benefits from that shoulder season extension will be. So I'm looking forward to finding that out more this fall and next spring. I think some of the other management benefits are just pest management, like we talked about a little bit already, and also just general plant health. It seems like the plants really thrive in this environment if you can manage to keep the moisture and the temperature controlled. Some of the cons or challenges so far have just been making sure to run the irrigation pretty often, especially if we get dry weather. It's just really important to keep that irrigation running in the caterpillar tunnel.
Thank you for having us out here today at Solar Fresh Produce. We really appreciate the chance here at University of Minnesota Extension to share what some farmers are doing and what's been successful. So we got a good look at Caterpillar Tunnel today, and I think it's going to be really valuable to share your experiences with some of our other Minnesota farmers.
Thanks to the Extension for coming out today to talk about the Caterpillar Tunnel. Thanks also to the Mill City Farmers Market Next Stage grant. And thank you to the Sustainable Farming Association as well for helping share some of this information. I'm really looking forward to just seeing what the next steps are with the Caterpillar Tunnel, especially in terms of planning for some overwintering crops and some winter harvesting. I'm also looking forward to just next spring and seeing what I can do in next season and beyond.